In the end, only three things truly matter: how deeply you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of what isn't meant for you. Those who experience the interconnectedness of life see themselves in others and others in themselves, viewing everything with an unbiased perspective. Sharing happiness only multiplies it. Our thoughts shape who we are. We truly become what we think. Avoid getting lost in the past or overly fixated on the future. Focus your mind on the present moment. Once upon a time, a seeker approached Gautam Buddha, yearning for wisdom on how to harness their emotions. This individual was wrestling with intense anger and frustration, longing for a means to achieve better emotional balance. With a kind smile, Buddha invited them to take a seat and said, "Let me share a tale with you." In a faraway land, there was a king who presided over a flourishing kingdom. One day, he chose to visit a neighboring realm, intrigued by tales of its wise ruler. Upon his arrival, he was met with grand ceremonies and a lavish banquet arranged in his honor. As the feast progressed, the king noticed an unwelcome guest, a fly, floating in his soup. Disgusted, he demanded his servant bring him a fresh bowl. Observing this, the wise king from the neighboring kingdom gently intervened, saying, "Your Majesty, please, it's just a small fly. Don't let it upset you." The king retorted, "I can't stand such things. Even a minor annoyance like that can ruin my entire day." The wise king smiled knowingly and replied, "Remember, Your Majesty, it's not the fly that disrupts your peace, it's your reaction to it. You possess the power to govern your emotions. Don't let them govern you." Taking these words to heart, the king returned to his own kingdom transformed. From that day on, he practiced the skill of pausing before reacting to situations that would have once inflamed his temper. He discovered he could maintain his calm during difficult moments, enabling him to make wiser choices. This story conveys a significant lesson that we all can benefit from. We often find ourselves responding to challenges impulsively, leading to unfortunate outcomes. When we allow anger and frustration to dictate our reactions, we jeopardize our relationships and cloud our judgment. It's crucial to recognize that choosing not to react does not mean ignoring our emotions. Acknowledging our feelings is a vital part of our humanity. Instead of rushing into reactions, we should take a step back to process our emotions and respond with intention. Meanwhile, in another part of the world, a young man named Michael was navigating his emotional landscape. Michael was prone to strong emotional responses, often acting without thinking and resulting in hurtful remarks that sparked conflicts and left emotional wounds. One day, Michael made the decision to take charge of his emotions. He recognized that his impulsive responses were doing more harm than good, and he was ready for a change. He began to practice mindfulness and meditation, which helped him become more attuned to his thoughts and feelings. Michael also embraced the concept of pausing before reacting. Whenever he faced a situation that typically triggered his emotions, he would step back, take a few deep breaths, and then approach the situation with a clear mind. Initially, Michael found it challenging to manage his emotions. Anger and frustration still bubbled up, but he learned to take a moment before responding. With consistent practice, he found it easier to navigate his feelings. As a result, his relationships began to flourish. No longer did he get caught up in arguments or say hurtful things. Instead, he communicated thoughtfully, which helped him forge deeper connections with others. One day, a friend of Michael's came to him seeking guidance. This friend was going through a tough time and felt overwhelmed. Michael listened attentively to his friend's troubles and offered comforting words. His friend expressed gratitude, saying, "You always know exactly what to say. It seems like you never get angry or upset." Michael smiled back and explained, "It's not that I don't feel anger or frustration. It's just that I've learned to manage my emotions rather than let them control me. This skill has greatly improved my relationships and my overall happiness." Impressed, his friend asked how he had developed this emotional control. Michael shared his journey with mindfulness and the art of not reacting, encouraging his friend to give it a try. Over time, Michael became well known for his composed and thoughtful approach to life. He handled challenges with grace, earning admiration for his strength and resilience. He continued to practice mindfulness and the art of pausing before reacting, discovering that it brought him profound inner peace and joy. The lesson in not reacting is one we can all learn from. While it requires dedication and patience, the benefits are incredibly rewarding. By mastering our emotional responses, we can enhance our relationships, make wiser choices, and lead more fulfilling lives. The tales of the wise king and Michael remind us that while we can't control everything that happens, we do have the power to determine how we respond. Through practicing mindfulness and the art of not reacting, we gain the ability to manage our emotions and respond with thoughtfulness. This powerful skill can significantly enhance our relationships, well-being, and overall quality of life. It's crucial that we invest time in developing this ability, allowing it to positively reshape our lives. Anger persists only as long as we cling to feelings of resentment. The moment we let go of those thoughts, anger fades away. Think of rising anger as a chariot. It can be controlled, but we must be the true drivers. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and hoping it harms someone else. In reality, conquering our own emotions is a far greater victory than defeating 1,000 adversaries on the battlefield. Instead of letting our reactions dictate our actions, we should allow our choices to guide us. True peace arises from within. Searching for it externally will lead us astray. When we feel anger in the midst of conflict, we've already shifted our focus from seeking the truth to defending ourselves. Remember, the mind shapes our reality. What we think, we become. Anger doesn't bring punishment from outside. Rather, it punishes us from within. At the heart of our suffering lies attachment. If we wish to see others happy, we must practice compassion. And if we seek happiness ourselves, we must do the same. Letting go is the key to freedom, and freedom is essential for happiness. If we cling to anger, anxiety, or material possessions in our hearts, true freedom eludes us. One word that brings peace is worth more than 1,000 empty phrases. Everything we are stems from our thoughts. So, remember to respond rather than react. Respond with reason, not emotion. In the end, only 3 things truly matter: how deeply you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of what isn't meant for you. Those who experience the interconnectedness of life see themselves in others and others in themselves, viewing everything with an unbiased perspective. Sharing happiness only multiplies it. Our thoughts shape who we are. We truly become what we think. Avoid getting lost in the past or overly fixated on the future. Focus your mind on the present moment. Some truths cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth itself. To find genuine happiness, we must release our attachments to people and possessions. Remember, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. It is our own minds, not external foes, that can lead us astray. The ideas that we develop and put into action carry far more weight than those that remain mere thoughts. There's no fire that burns as fiercely as passion, no predator as ruthless as hatred, no trap as deceiving as foolishness, and no force as overwhelming as greed. Our thoughts shape who we are. Everything we become stems from what we think. If you aspire to soar, you must first shed the burdens holding you down. Change begins with you. If you want to transform the world, start by transforming yourself. Remember, happiness isn't something you find ready-made. It arises from your actions. Don't fall into the illusion that you have endless time. The mind resembles water. When it's tumultuous, clarity is hard to achieve. In moments of calm, however, everything becomes crystal clear. Just as a knife can cut deeply without drawing blood, words can harm without physical violence. Instead of merely emulating the wise, seek to understand what they sought. Your purity or impurity lies within. No one can cleanse you but yourself. Let's take a moment to express gratitude. Even if today didn't offer us a wealth of knowledge, at least we've learned a bit. If we didn't learn anything, we've managed to stay healthy, and if we did fall ill, we're still here. So let's be thankful for that. True failure isn't in stumbling, but in failing to remain true to what you know to be right. The past is behind us, the future is yet to come. There's only this moment to truly live. Idleness leads to a quick descent into despair, while diligence paves the path to a fulfilling life. Those who waste their time are foolish. The wise know the value of hard work. Remember, hatred only dissipates through love, not through more hatred. This is the timeless truth. Whatever a monk focuses on becomes the direction of his thoughts. Avoid lingering in the past or getting lost in dreams of the future. Direct your mind toward the present moment. The mind is all-powerful. Your thoughts define your reality. Don't seek refuge in anyone but yourself. The secret to doing remarkable work lies in loving what you do. If you haven't discovered your passion yet, keep searching. Don't settle. When it comes to matters of the heart, you'll recognize it when you find it. True glory in life isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time we do. We are our own saviors. No one can do it for us, and no one may. The journey is ours to walk.